Hey YouTube, Jason here with Day Trading Fearless. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and also make sure you check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/daytradingfearless, where you can follow along with my stock picks, portfolio, and also if you trade the S&P E-mini futures, go to my website, Day Trading Fearless, for my weekly trade zones. For the S&P futures, it's only $50 for a lifetime subscription. So as always, let's jump right into the video. And this video is how to trade using the 5-minute chart. What to look for, what are some of the things on this chart. I will leave a link down below for this specific chart that you could download to your Thinkorswim that you can have. But these are what I like, okay? Let's first go over what exactly is everything. This purple line, okay, is just a standard default VWAP. Okay, that's all this is it's a default VWAP that I add onto the chart. Second, this is also a extended trading hours chart, so it shows the overnight session and the day session all included. The yellow line is the 200 EMA exponential moving average. It's what I have on each and every one of my charts. I love this line. If we zoom in, the white line is the 8 period moving average exponential. Okay, just the basic 8 period. And then the red line is actually the 20 period moving average exponential. That's it. Nothing crazy. And then over on the side, we have these levels over here is the first hour high and low, which are the yellow. The red above and below are the 38 and 61% fib extensions. And then this is the 210 fib extension. I like using the 210 versus the 200 for the first hour. It just seems to work a lot better on the S&P E-mini futures. And then finally, this turquoise line right here is the opening price. I like to use this chart with stocks too, right? So let's pull up just any stock, WKEY, okay? This is something that's been in play this week. Lots of up and down movement, price movement. And so the way I would look at it is if we get overextended from the 200 on any big down push, I would look to buy on the very first retest of it. Okay. Now you could say, is this a retest? Well, no, because we were still a ways from it. But as we came back down here, I would have looked to buy here. You could see we kind of bounced from here. Very hard pullback, right to it. Also, this was the opening price from Friday's price action. So with this chart, or with this price action, it just shows you, hey, look at how well it respected the opening price and the 200. That's confluence. Now, you're watching this video probably a week or two after this will be uploaded in about 2 weeks from when I'm trading. So this happened about 2 weeks ago. But with that being said, what I like to do is when we start to fall, and let me see if I could go back and maybe find something. I like to look for a pullback on this chart. Okay, so when you see a big power move like this, a pullback, and I like to try and buy the very first bounce off the 9 period. That is usually a really good trade setup. Also, when we are in between, we'll say the 8 period and the 20 period, if we have a whole number right? Like 13 and we kind of fall below or something, I like to buy that very first pullback to a whole number, but I like to buy somewhere around 1280. We'll use 13 as an example. If I see price falling like this, and this is around 1280 to 13, I want to buy maybe 1290, 1295, 1285, somewhere around there as a pullback, and just look for that quick bounce. And here's the bounce back up, right? And maybe I'll look for about 20 cents or 10 cent target with maybe a 20-cent stop loss, something like that. Another way to really trade this is if you see, and we'll give a perfect example. If all of a sudden this started to rally back up to the upside, I would look at the 20 period. If this 20 period lined up with maybe a resistance level, I would look for potential short, right? Or if it rallied up in the very first touch up into the VWAP, if there was other things that kind of coincided with it, I would look for that. I would look for that to maybe potentially short, or on the downside get long, right? If it was reversed. Now, going back to the S&P E-mini futures, one way I like the reason I like the 5-minute chart is because I'm able to see the bigger moves, right? Swing highs and swing lows. Look at this. We have a trend, right? Lower highs, lower lows, all the way down, right? Lower highs, lower lows. Well, if you think about it, once price broke above these highs right here, okay, we have now reversed the entire trend to the upside. And one of the telltales is when we came here, you see we came up here, we pulled back, but then we took off and we had a very powerful move above. If you see something like this where it reverses right before a prior high, right? Because if you think about it, this would have made a lower low if we made a lower high, but you saw it find support at the VWAP, push off, get back above the 200 and finally break above. Well, now we have lower highs, right? We'll say, and higher highs and higher lows throughout this entire move, right? Pull back, never broke below this low, right? High, pull back, high, pullback, never broke. And so when I see these pullbacks, I want to look for a level where I can actually be a buyer to look for a bigger move. Okay, this works really good on the S&P futures. It works good if you're trading penny stocks, momentum stocks, right? Like the high volume stocks that are moving for the day. And it's just a really, really good type of trade. And if you could really identify higher highs, higher lows, the trend, and when that trend reverses, look for pullbacks. Where would the prior low be? Here was a very shallow pullback, but if it pulled back maybe to here, okay, I would have really loved if this pulled back farther and I was watching it. We have a prior swing high, right? We also have a prior swing high here. We have the 200 that would act as a support, kind of like here, right? We had the 200 support and the bounce, right? Very good low risk, high reward type of trades. And that, if you could really focus on finding these type of trade setups, I think that will really, really help you in your overall trading. Trading does not have to be that difficult. We just tend to make it more difficult, right? Do you even need all these moving average lines? No, but they do give us, when that line matches up with other potential things, I like it. When you see a big power move in the very first pullback, usually the algos or the bigger traders are going to buy that very first pullback. Meaning, if I saw price come back down here, Okay, I would maybe look for a body wick. If you've watched my other videos, I love looking for wicks and bodies, right, as support or resistance levels. Meaning, if you look at this, right, wick, body, wick, right? We fail, we come back up. Usually that's going to be a good short, and you could have picked up a short there, right? So if we're pulling back, I would love to see this lining up with this. Here's the problem. We're beyond that. So if price came down, I probably wouldn't take this trade. I'll be a little more patient. But if this 20 period, the high of it was down here, okay, like right here, and let's say these two weren't there and we came down, I'd be a buyer all day, because there is a body, right? That's kind of, when you see little nuances like this in the market, that is what your edge is. If we kept falling down, I'd say, hey, does this VWAP line up with anything? Well, yeah, it lines up with the first hour high. It also lines up with these highs over here, right? If I just drew a trend line, resistance, support, resistance, failed, bounce back up, resistance, right? Come down, resistance, breakout, pull back, support. So the very first touch after a long move would be a support level, and I would look to be a buyer on the very first touch of that. So hopefully this video is helpful for you guys of what to look for when you're doing your trades in the overall market. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know it's a lot. I will leave a link down below in the description for this chart if you want this with the same setup for your own Thinkorswim. But as always, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.